April is tax season, a time where individuals reassess finances and long-term goals. And one of the ways to set things up for the future is by downsizing. And a free educational event will be taking place the day after tax day on April 16th at Jewish Senior Life's Heckman Apartments in West Bloomfield, as the Center for Financial Planning in Southfield is going to be sharing the financial and lifestyle benefits of doing exactly that. Here to tell us more from a financial perspective is Logan Dimitrie, the Associate Financial Planner at the Center for Financial Planning Incorporated. Logan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Jake. I appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to talking through this and hopefully helping out some folks today.
Of course, that's what we want to be doing. We want to get this information out there. So first and foremost, what are the most common financial pressures people are feeling around tax day that maybe make them consider something like downsizing?
Yeah, so really one of the most common things that comes up in conversations with clients around this time is the unexpected tax liabilities as property taxes increase. And in transition, you might find you didn't withhold as much. So you might have some underpayment penalties, that sort of thing. Downsizing can actually really help with that, reducing your tax burden during the tax day. And a lot of people are focused on that around this time. This is when most people start looking at their financial picture. So.
That's right. Really looking at what you've got in front of you, how you want to navigate things for the future. Now, how can downsizing improve someone's overall financial health?
Great question, Jake. So overall financial health, I guess there's a lot of ways that it can do that. And I like to look back at my time in senior living. I was a life enrichment director 7 years ago for memory care and independent living community. And we used to focus very much on the dimensions of wellness. And there's 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on which model you look at. But one thing I always noticed is none of them really mentioned financial or finances in them. And financial health is so important. And downsizing can really have many benefits there, just reducing stress through again, avoiding these increased tax payments. I mean, there's so many costs to home ownership that, I mean, I could list them all morning. So.
Yeah, and I mean, there's even some hidden costs people may not realize they can eliminate by right-sizing their home. Do you have some examples of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say hidden costs in the sense you've got your fixed costs like heating your house, and you don't realize that that bill's actually pretty high because of all those extra rooms holding your stuff that you might not need anymore. If the kids are on their own, they've got their own families, things like that you've just collected over time. There's other the hidden costs of those taxes. I mean, your property is typically taxed on like your square footage, that sort of thing. I think you could reduce a lot of those costs and increase your cash flow just by downsizing, just by right sizing.
And with downsizing, that's a very big decision that somebody can make. I mean, that's not a decision you should take very lightly. How should someone determine if downsizing is the right financial decision for them?
Yeah, so how to determine if this is the right decision for you? A lot of times I come back to the transitions, life transitions, things that change in your life. Again, I bring up becoming like an empty nester. That's a big one, but just evaluating your life stage and your future goals in general. Every year you should kind of be thinking about where are you at, where do you want to go? And I mean, just think about all these houses you've got so many stairs going up and down. There's no main floor, full bathroom, bedroom, that sort of thing. I mean, it can take a toll on your physical health Um, if you don't need these extra bedrooms, why have them when you can downsize and actually live intentionally, live in a way that guides you to a better quality of life, by just, I mean, picking a different place to live now that you're in a different stage of life. Does
That's
that kind of answer your question, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's living what makes sense to you, knowing what makes sense, knowing what you need, not having any excess materials that are not necessary and are just draining more money from your bank account. That's absolutely right. Logan, I got one more question before we let you go. Are there tax implications or benefits people should be made aware of when selling their home and going through the downsizing process?
Yeah, absolutely. There are tax implications. I mean, so when thinking about if it's the right time, these are the questions and the things you need to be thinking about. As a certified financial planner, if you're not already working with a certified financial planner, I recommend you do. We have a fiduciary duty to do what's in your best interest. And a lot of what we do is actually take all of these considerations into your life plan. So when you've decided maybe you're at this life stage where downsizing might be right for you, let's talk about your cash flow. We'll do a cash flow analysis. We'll do a balance sheet or net worth analysis. As far as tax implications go, we do a lot of tax planning. So one major benefit, a lot of times it's your primary residence that you're downsizing, right? There is actually an exclusion of about 250,000 for single filers and 500,000 for married filing jointly. So that exclusion is basically a capital gains exclusion. So say you purchased your house 30 years ago for $50,000 and now it's worth say 300,000. If you're a single filer, that gain you might actually get a full exclusion on if you're eligible, of course. So we do a lot of the tax planning, and then we'll partner with a CPA who will actually file your taxes. So we'll run these ideas by them, and then they'll actually give the seal of approval and get it filed for you. So.
All right, all very important information that people are going to be taking away from this event and making sure they have all the necessary information before going through something like this. Logan, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash.
Thank you so much for having me, Jake. Have a wonderful day.
Of course. Once again, that was Logan Dimitrie, the Associate Financial Planner at the Center for Financial Planning Incorporated. Lots of information people need to be made aware of before tax day and before making these major life decisions. Once again, the event will be taking place on April 16th at Jewish Senior Life's Hechtman Apartments in West Bloomfield. Of course, with downsizing being such a major decision, it's best you shouldn't just look at it from a financial point of view, but also from a lifestyle one as well. Here to explain more from the lifestyle side of things is the Executive Director of Marketing and Sales at Jewish Senior Life, Dennis Kraniak. Dennis, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Of course. Now, we just had that conversation with Logan about the financial side of things, but beyond finances, what are the biggest lifestyle benefits people experience after downsizing?
That's a great question. I think the first word that comes to mind is freedom. I think people are surprised by how much life opens up. You know, we go from managing a home to actually enjoying their time. You don't have to worry about maintenance and repairs or isolation, which is a really big thing where, the neighborhood changes and now you're alone in your home or you're a couple in your home. It's also harder to get out and do dining and cultural programs. And more importantly, I think the biggest experience is you're going to get to be around more people, which is so important. And so it's not that you're going to a smaller space, it's that you're really gaining a bigger life. And that's what I would say.
That's a great way to look at things. It sounds like a lot of the stress and a lot of the turmoil that may come from managing a bigger property goes away from something like this. How does downsizing contribute to reduced stress and improved peace of mind overall?
It's a great question too. And these are the questions that our residents ask us all the time, or our prospective residents, of people that come to live with us. But a lot of the stress comes from the unknown, right? It's like carrying so much responsibility on my own. And when you downsize, and maybe Logan spoke to this, it's like you're simplifying your life. Your day-to-day becomes easier. And for us, and what's important as part of our mission and what our people feel, is that they're taken care of, right? I feel security. And that means safety, that means support, that means that there's a team around you. The family feels it, and our residents feel it. It's peace of mind and a sense of relief.
Everybody's in this together, and you're just trying to make everyone feel comfortable and safe, and providing everything that these residents need with Jewish Senior Life. What types of living options are available at Jewish Senior Life for those who are maybe considering a move like this?
Yeah, we have 3 different types of care that we provide. We provide independent living, which is for active adults, and for talking about the freedom that we're just referring to, and then the connection, being part of a community. We offer assisted living for those that need more support. And then we also offer memory care, which is an ever-growing segment of Alzheimer's and onset dementia as we age. So our idea is you can stay in one community and go from as you age, you can go from independent living to assisted living to memory care. But we have residents who've been in independent living, for 15, 20 years sometimes. And it's awesome. We offer college classes. There's great dining. We have a wood shop. We have a beautiful patio, gardens, and walking. You're all part of this community, and it's the people that you live with and the staff that we have that makes such a difference. But those are the 3 pillars: independent living, assisted living, and memory care.
All great options for those who need it. Now, when it comes to something like downsizing or even senior living communities, there could be a lot of misconceptions people might have. What would you say are some of the biggest ones people have over something like this?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is that you're giving something up, right? And really, it's what you're gaining. You're gaining more connection, more opportunities to do things socially, more freedom because you have less to worry about and more time to do what you want to do. And the other misconception is that it's clinical or impersonal. No, it's warm. Our whole thing is it's warm, we're social, how alive it feels. We look at it like, look, you're starting a new chapter on your terms. And that's it. It's like you do what you want to do. It is independent living. And the way we approach this, as a staff member, I'm walking through somebody's home when I'm working through the community. We're here to serve, and we're all part of this amazing community. And so it's not clinical at all. It's very personal. It's like, for us, it's our mitzvah. It's our mission to serve. We're a nonprofit, and that's our focus, is to take care of our elder people.
It sounds very personal, and it sounds like everybody involved with Jewish Senior Life is going to feel safe and welcome with whatever they choose to do. Dennis, last question before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who maybe feels a little overwhelmed by the idea of downsizing, but knows that it may be the right time?
You know what? I think it's, start the conversation, start small, and know that you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to make every decision at once. Like, for us, come visit, come with your family, come have a conversation, ask a lot of questions. My title is Executive Director of Marketing and Sales, but that's not it. I'm an advisor, like a fiduciary, like this financial thing that we're hosting, this free event on April 16th. We're here to advise and offer insight and information. And for example, the Center for Financial Planning is one of many partners that we have to make sure that we're a resource with the latest information from health, wealth, and well-being to help you. And I want to say, it's not about losing your home. It's about, how do I want to live next, right? People do best when they truly enjoy everything that comes with it, and how to explore what those things are. What do I want? Take your time, have those conversations, and we're here to explain how that works for us and our community.
Amazing. Lots of things to consider before making a move like this, but lots of options available to make sure that it is done safely. Dennis, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Oh, thank you for having me.